Hey everybody, Josh here, and welcome back to some content that you probably didn't subscribe to, but I know a few of you actually did, so welcome back. Anyways, today I just wanted to change some things up a bit and talk about ways I get things done even when I'm feeling overwhelmed, demotivated, and anxious. In an earlier video, I mentioned that I have ADHD and that I sometimes struggle with anxiety and get overwhelmed with the amount of tasks that I have to do and then end up doing nothing. Anyways, I received quite a few DMs asking about how I manage my ADHD and how I manage to push through when I'm feeling overwhelmed and still get stuff done. So first off, being a YouTuber, you'd think that I'd be free from stage fright, yeah? No, it's there every time I hit that red record button. Sometimes I'm babbling at warp speed, fearing that the audience will click off if I don't spit it all out fast enough. I get so tangled up sometimes in the potential criticisms that a video might have that sometimes I just scrap it. On top of that, you'd think it's easy to be a YouTuber. Just make videos about whatever you want. And that's not quite how it works. It's almost like choice overload sometimes, or maybe you'd want to call it analysis paralysis, because when I start thinking about all the things I have to do, they all start to seem a lot bigger than they are. A few years back, I read a book by Ryan Holiday called The Obstacle is the Way, essentially about stoicism, and it talks about how people use roadblocks in their life as the path to success. Yeah, I know, it sounds kind of cliche, right? And no, stoicism isn't about being emotionless and indifferent to everything. It's about understanding the difference between what you can control and what you can't control. It's about accepting the chaos of the world and finding tranquility within that. Controlling your emotions rather than your emotions controlling you. And in that regard, the philosophy of stoicism has probably been, bar none, one of the most game-changing things in my life. Picture it like being in the eye of a hurricane, calm and collected while there's a storm just raging around you. That's the ability Stoicism aims to arm you with. That and learning that life is not what happens to you, it's how you react to it. Anyways, I was listening to another book by Ryan Holiday called Stillness is Key, and how you can use that to prioritize tasks and establish new habits. If you don't know what the Eisenhower Matrix is, well, it's named after President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Famously said, "What is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important." And up until recently, that's not something I really ever thought about. It can be urgent, but completely meaningless, like your dog barking at someone knocking at the door. It might seem urgent, but it might just be the Amazon person dropping off a package. And if you're like me, everything seems urgent, important or not. Likewise, something can be important but not urgent, like the gym and your long-term health. Picture this. Urgency is like a loud, obnoxious party guest. He's banging on the drums, demanding your immediate attention. Everything is now, now, now. He thrives on the adrenaline rush, the quick fix, and the immediate response. On the other hand, importance is like the wise old sage. He's patient, thoughtful, and his voice often gets drowned out by the urgency's incessant drumming. But his words and his issues, they're the ones that carry the real weight. They're the actions that align with your long-term goals, values, and personal growth. You see, urgency shouts, "Respond to that email right now," or "Check your phone, you might be missing something." It's about reacting, not thoughtful responses. Whereas importance, however, whispers, "What do you truly value? What habits should you be developing?" Whereas importance, however, whispers, "What do you truly value? What habits should you be developing? What actions will bring you closer to your goals?" Sure, a lot of this is psychological, but at least for me, if I have 10 things I need to do and only have some of them sorted out in my head, but not others, getting started on anything becomes almost impossible. Even if I write out just a basic to-do list, it still sometimes feels like the rock is just too big to start pushing. But with the Eisenhower Matrix, and by sorting your tasks and forcing yourself to really decide what's worth your time, the first few steps become infinitely easier. Creates breathing room you didn't even know you had. At least that's what it's done for me. It might seem annoying at first, but remember, the aim is to manage your time effectively, not accomplish everything at once. In fact, you might even double up and do something Mark Twain has called eat the frog, which is essentially where you wake up in the morning and do the hardest task first every single day. And the reasoning is, well, you've done the hardest thing. It only gets easier from here. Since learning about this thing called the Eisenhower Matrix, it's completely changed how I work on my day-to-day tasks. It's helped declutter my mind so that I'm able to focus consistently on a single task rather than getting wrapped up in what seems like urgent matters all the time. Because let's be honest, if you have anxiety or ADHD or feel overwhelmed, it can sometimes feel like there are 50 browser tabs open in your head, all playing a different music video at the same time. So for me, any tool that helps manage that madness, sign me up. For example, recently, I used the Eisenhower Matrix to organize this huge life move, and there are what seems like 1,000 different moving parts. I've used the Eisenhower method to establish new habits, like I've been putting off cardio, and now I get that done every day. I'm also using it to finally finish my audiobook. I'm now journaling again. I'm working on my diet. even my skincare routine. And speaking about skincare routines, let's talk about today's sponsor. That's right, Tiege Hanley. I know, skincare might not seem as important as your other day-to-day tasks, but the sooner you get started on it, the better off you'll be. Now, I've been using Tiege Hanley for a while now, and if you don't know what it is, it's a skincare system designed specifically for us guys. It's affordable, keeps your skin glowing, and most importantly, at least for me, it's simple. If you don't believe me, here are the instructions. I'm not sure quite how you messed that up. I mean, are you really going to spend the time sorting through a million skincare products before you come up with your own skincare routine? Chances are probably not, and this is where Tiege Hanley steps in. Tiege Hanley cuts through all the clutter and delivers a simplified skincare system right to your door. Since I've been using Tiege Hanley, my eczema hasn't flared up, my skin stays clear, and it's not nearly as oily as it once was. And I actually got a comment for the first time on, "Wow, your skin looks really clear, Josh. What are you doing?" And that was nice, I have to be honest. Look, we might not all be able to age like George Clooney, but with Tiege Hanley, we still have a shot. Just like the Eisenhower Matrix helps you simplify and prioritize your important habits, Tiege Hanley simplifies your skincare routine, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. And let's be real here, you get to feel like a smoother, although probably less lethal version of James Bond every morning. I'd offer to let you feel how smooth my skin is now, but that's weird, and you can't. So you'll just have to try it out for yourself. And also, it actually smells really good too. And if you don't want to take my word for it, you can take someone else's because they have over 7,000 5-star reviews. Oh yeah, and in addition to having awesome skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, monthly deals, and free US shipping. And don't worry, you can cancel it or pause it whenever you need to. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the link in the description and you'll get 30% off your first box plus a free gift. Don't miss out on this amazing deal. Click that link and get started today. Implement the Eisenhower Matrix. Now, a typical Eisenhower Matrix is a simple 2x2 grid with 4 quadrants. Now, the first quadrant is the urgent and important quadrant. These are tasks you need to do immediately. They could be crisis, deadlines, or problems. For example, as a YouTuber, this might be me responding to a time-sensitive sponsorship deal or fixing a sudden technical issue with my channel. The next quadrant, usually the top right, is the important but not urgent quadrant. Now, these are tasks that align with your more long-term goals and values. These are tasks that you need to schedule to do later, so eventually they'll move into your quadrant 1. So again, for example, as a YouTuber, I might plan out my content strategy over the next few months or invest some time in learning a new skill like ChatGPT. Now, the third quadrant is urgent but not important. Now, these are the tasks that you can delegate to someone else or set up a system to handle them automatically. For example, hiring an editor to speed up my video production or setting up auto replies. And the last quadrant, this bottom right one, is the not urgent or important. These are activities that you should delete from your schedule. They don't contribute to your goals and are just a distraction. Yes, this will require some personal honesty, but do it. You'll thank yourself later. I have been every single day. Small things that consumed my time I never really paid attention to, but now I find myself getting more done than ever. You know what I'm talking about, the things that don't contribute to your goals, like scrolling aimlessly on social media or just watching one YouTube video after the other. Chances are you might not write those down in the quadrant, but be honest with yourself. What are you doing throughout the day? Write them down. And I'm not saying that you can't do that or have fun, but you can't let these distractions rule your day. That's pretty much all there is to it. You write down all your tasks and you sort them into this matrix. Then you have a clear visual overview of what needs your attention and where to start. But the main focus here are the long-term goals, which are quadrant 2. These are the important but not urgent ones. These are the ones that drive your long-term growth. Pro tip here, try and limit your Eisenhower Matrix to 8 things per quadrant, because otherwise you might end up back at square one like I was, and then you're overwhelmed by the Eisenhower Matrix, and I'm not sure where to go then. Not every urgent task is important, and not every important task is urgent. And truly understanding this can help you prioritize your life, reduce stress, and get way more done. I know it's done that for me. As Bill Gates once famously said, most people overestimate what they can get done in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. Yet I find this piece of wisdom holds true for shorter time spans as well. We tend to overestimate what we can get done in one day, but underestimate what we can accomplish in 1 year. So the next time you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or having difficulty picking a task to get started on first, go ahead and pull out the Eisenhower Matrix. It'll show you where you need to go. Anyways, that's all I have for today, and I hope this video can help some of you navigate through all of the urgent and overwhelming tasks that seem to just completely pollute the day. If you enjoyed it, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. What tools do you know about that I'm missing? Why did it take me so long to find this Eisenhower Matrix? I don't know, but I'd be interested in knowing what you do. And lastly, I'd just like to say thanks to our sponsor today, Tiege Hanley. Go get yourself started on a skincare routine and put that on the Eisenhower Matrix. You can use the link in the description and get 30% off your first box. Having said all that, I hope everyone's doing well. I'll catch you in the next one.